podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
You're listening to Achtung Millwall, broadcasting from the beautiful South Birmingham. Accept no substitute.
Hello, Monday morning with Merv, dear listeners. Welcome to Achtung Millwall. Merv and I are going to review the momentous events of the weekend. I was just saying to Merv off-air listeners that the last time Mill got anywhere close to the top flight was 1988-89 when the Berlin Wall fell and the break-up of the post-world order, perhaps. And here we are again with Trump looking at Greenland. But here he is now, the man himself, Merv. It seems to send shockwaves around the world, doesn't it? Mill getting close to the top flight, Merv.
It does, yeah. Wouldn't it? It would be just our luck that they declare World War III just
to head us off.
We're walking out, planning our trips to Old Trafford, and schools cancelled, another lockdown. Getting your buses, get under the bed, yeah.
That's right. There we are. We're speaking, of course, listeners, in the wake of that immense win, I think, one of the best away performances since the pre-COVID era. That 2-0 win at Watford. How did you see the game, Merv?
I was quite. It seems a lot of games coming up where you think we're playing someone who's in and around us in the playoff place, and you think, right, we're going to get scrutinised here. It's going to be tricky. Yeah. And this one popped up for me quite a while ago because Watford are sort of the form horse in the Championship at the moment. They've sort of turned the season around and they changed the manager again, didn't they? As they
did.
Tend to do every few months. But yeah, I think they won 4 on the spin. They look very good at home, and you think, this is going to be a real test. And I think what staggered me was not just that we got the win, but I felt like we dominated the game. You know,
we did.
The amount of Watford fans that have come out on social media saying, again, this is ironic that you're the best team we've played all season. You're nailed on for a playoff place, possibly second spot. You know, it's amazing. Given still, I know we keep saying it, but given the injuries we still got, players are coming back. I mean, it's great to be able to bring someone like Kundawan as a sub.
Yeah.
Give players a break, you know. But given the situation we've been in, injury-wise, it's staggering. And you've only got to watch the highlights on Sky Sports. I think it's about 2.5-minute highlight package. I think there's literally one Watford attack on it. It's just wave after wave of Mill. And it could have been so much more, you know, if Caleb Taylor's header hadn't been so well saved early on.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Doughty's shot is on target, or perhaps if he'd maybe gone for placement rather than power, you know, you're looking at 3, 4 or even 5-0, which is staggering.
I mean, that's about the only area where I would say we need to think. We are in the middle of a transfer window, as Ben said on the show I did yesterday, just as a reminder to the club that we can sign players. I mean, I think, Tony Monday's just posted, this must be a Sky TV graphic, Merv. It's 51 minutes in, so the first half. Total shots, Millwall 8 shots, no shots for Watford at that stage in the game. 2 on target and 5 off target. Nothing for them at all. We just kept them so quiet. I mean, there was a little flurry at the start of the second half. They had a couple of moments where I thought, here we go, because we hadn't taken our moments in that first half. The shot from Alfie Doughty, which I was looking back at the highlights reel, and I thought, blimey, that was a big chance there, and then Caleb Taylor.
Yeah.
But I think even Femi had a go in the first half that was just inches over.
He had a good shot, which
it's just that ruthlessness in front of goal, Merv, would you say? Although we did go on to get 2, you know.
I think it will come. I think you've just got to be. If we're performing like that every game, if we're creating that much, it's gonna click. I'm sure of it. You know, and I'm not just being optimistic, blindly optimistic, but if we can keep that level of sort of intensity up and energy up, then we're gonna roll a lot of teams over, hopefully.
Yeah, we've got a big week. We've got to play Coventry on Tuesday night, listeners. Just looking at Alex Neil's post-match comments here, we showed hunger and deservedly won the game, said Alex. I think he's right. I mean, there's 1 or 2. I mean, in fairness to Watford, I think they do have a touch of this this Bristol City idea that they play a beautiful game and that the world could reward that. But in fairness, most of the comments I've seen online, though, do acknowledge that we were a better team. And as Alex Neil has said, they've deservedly run out the winners decisively. So They do seem to they seem to rate us as a rough team. I don't think we're all that
No, in fact,
hard nosed.
I even saw a Watford fan come out and defend that accusation, which is, there's been a lot of, once again, there's been a lot of good spirit between the fans after the match, which is
I thought
quite
so.
surprising. I think we
Yeah,
earned a lot of respect from them for the way we treated the Graham Taylor
yeah,
tribute. I think that, because yeah, obviously that was dealt with respect. But I mean, my dad used to have this saying about gobby people. He would say like that, can't fight, wear a big hat, was what he would say. I think that's the case with like but I think if you play pretty football, then that
there's a
automatically gives
reward.
you
Yeah,
some sort of honorary head start in a match. But this is the Championship. It's one of the toughest leagues in the world, and that's not overstating it. It's been proven that it's one of the most competitive
yeah,
outside of the Premier League and La Liga and that sort of thing. And you can't just tip tap your way. You've got to grind out results. You've got teams that are happy just staying in the division, which is why we tend to get turned over with the likes of Portsmouth and Oxford and Blackburn, because they're scrapping away at the bottom. And you've got teams who've got huge budgets, way beyond ours,
yeah.
who can just go out and buy players that are sort of Premier League ready. So you've got to play to your strengths, and I think it was a great performance.
Certainly doing that. I mean, it is an oddity. I mean, I think what was aggravating the podcast, not the 20 or whatever it's called,
Oh yeah,
not the top 20. That's it. Was our track record, which I mean, the league table reflects wins and draws and points, but
yeah.
goal difference does play a part, of course. But we're still in the top four with a -2 goal difference. Merv, it's a very unusual situation, very Millwall
Yeah,
situation, isn't it?
it is very Millwall. Yeah, I mean that's really mainly down to the fact that when we've been beaten, we've been well beaten, haven't we? We've shipped 4 against
We've
Coventry and 3
yeah,
against Borough. Yeah,
absolutely.
4 at Birmingham. Those 3 results were sort of like, if they're 1-0s, then obviously it's a much far different picture. But I think it's a reflection and a good reflection on Alex Neil.
Yeah,
I noticed because there's a lot of talk now about. I mean, it's getting quite boring. There's this whole manager versus coach thing,
yeah, yeah.
and coaches' brands of football and not being flexible enough. And I think we saw that to a great extent with Gary Rowett and Neil Harris. I think they thought, right, this is my brand. This is how I'm going to play, because I know if we play like this over 46 games,
Yeah.
we will be at least this will get us to this. We won't go down. We've got a chance of maybe knocking on the door of the playoffs, whatever. And I think that's all well and good. I think a lot of coaches or managers, whatever you want to call them, do that. But I think Alex Neil was quite old school in that he's more adaptable. And he even said this when he came in. He said he likes to think of himself as a bit of a hybrid between the two sort of styles of football, possession and sort of more direct.
Yeah.
And I think we had this discussion last year when we got whacked 5-1 at Plymouth. Every now and then it won't work. It will backfire on you.
Yeah, you'll get stuffing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think as we've seen by our league position, the risk is well worth the reward, because okay, you don't play it so safe and get walloped 4-0 at home to Coventry, but then you be a bit more daring, and then you go to Watford and win 2-0. I think it's paying dividends now.
Well, I was thinking to myself at the halfway point through the second half, about 67 minutes, it was 0-0 at that stage.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself privately, someone like a Rowett, and I don't mean to dig him out. I've got a strange affection for him, because I think you're right.
Yeah.
He had his style, and his style is effective. He got us near to the top 6.
Yeah.
But Alex Neil presses for the win, Merv, doesn't he? I mean, so we got that goal from Femi, and then obviously sealed it with a two in different ways. 2 great goals. One a kind of a goal poaching finish inside the penalty, or the other really nicely finished, and a beautiful pass forwards from Camille Negley, a player I wanted to mention, because I do think he's starting to really show his true colours, Merv. That was a beautiful ball forwards. I mean, simple ball, but they're the hardest to play.
This is what it takes. This is what Coburn's had a lot of criticism. Ivanovic is getting a lot of criticism. I even saw someone say that because someone suggested we offload Macaulay Langstaff in order to bring another striker in, and then someone said, well, if you get rid of Langstaff, you've got to get rid of Ivanovic because he's had the similar season. But it's not as simple as that. It's getting good quality service. And these players been able to adapt to different sort of ways of playing, different systems and stuff. But if we've got people like Negley and Doughty who can put these quality balls in, then people like the goals are going to come. And we're just just getting players back to fitness and stuff like that. But that is key. And I think now in Negley we're seeing the player that we
We've
believe we
signed,
signed 12 months
yeah,
ago, aren't we?
the £4 million player that we all waited to see. But I thought he showed him his last few games. In fairness to
Yeah.
the boy, but that was a beautiful killer ball, and it was really
Mm.
nicely put away by Josh Coburn. I mean, when you look around the comments, everyone is saying, we just need a couple of more players to really, really seal the deal, make us real contenders. I
Yeah.
suppose if I was being really to look at it in the cold light of day, I suppose the left side is. I like Turno Ballo, Merv, but he looked a bit lightweight on
Yep.
Saturday, and
Yeah.
I think he's a good boy, but I just think he needs some strength and maybe I don't know, some
Yeah.
real work in the gym in the summertime to
Yeah.
strengthen him up. But maybe on the left side, would you agree that we need someone to
Yes.
come in on that side of things?
Yeah. I think we're looking at a very different transfer window this year to January last year when, and to be fair, I've seen some criticism which I think has been set up by Gallen. I think Gallen was quoted as saying they were looking to get players in early, which is obviously
Yeah,
death really
it's
because you just
bitten them on a bum, isn't it?
can't do it in January. We've seen before, but I think we're seeing a similar pattern to last year when fans were getting a bit uneasy or a bit twitchy because we hadn't made any signings apart from I think Kundal quite
Yeah,
about halfway through. But then you saw players starting to go out on loan or being, and then so it's
mm,
like a process. First of all, you've got to, relieve the wage bill at this end first, and then bring your players in. And I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a similar sort of pattern. But obviously, last year was crazy. I remember just literally every time I picked my phone up, we'd sign someone else on that last day or the second last day of the deadline. I think this year, I think it will be more quality as opposed to quantity. And
I agree.
hopefully, anyway, if we're going to bring one or two or maybe even three players in, it might be the loan market. But I think it's got to be someone who can hit the ground running, who's
Yeah,
already mastered the championship. And I think the left side does need strengthening because I think maybe Ballo is struggling from being expected to do a high intensity 90 minutes in the championship after playing at a lower level, which is
yeah.
understandable. If he can perhaps be used to really flog his guts out for the first 50, 60 minutes or come on as an impact sub, so to speak.
Late,
And
yeah.
and we bring someone on who's maybe a bit older, a bit more experienced, perhaps hasn't got 90 minutes every week in the tank, but can win the game for us or help get the game won. Then that would be great. Could be the missing pieces of the jigsaw, so to speak.
I mean, the other player I wanted to mention him over the weekend, but I'm really impressed with the journey that Alfie Doughty's made. I mean, he came to us looking, a little bit out of shape. Let's not beat around the bush, Merv, but he's becoming a really essential part of our side. The quality of some of the balls he was playing on Saturday were terrific, and that's a level that we've not really ever been used to at the Den. We were used to. And I don't mean to name check him cruelly, but we're used to the kind of Idemo Marcus, the 100%, and he does give 100% effort, but not perhaps with that touch. Alfie's really got a touch on him. He's a top level player, Merv, and I was really impressed with him Saturday.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's all about the end product, isn't it? And
yeah,
Alfie Doughty's end product is such good value because he might only have 3 or 4 touches in a spell, and yet they're all good quality ones,
absolutely.
And that's and they say the margins are so fine in the championship, especially the top 6, top 8, whatever. You've got to have that. And again, I think it's a habit thing. I think you can't expect him to come in after being injured and do it straight away. I think he needs to be up to speed after about 5 or 6 games, and then he'll be really on it. And I think it's the same for all the players. Negley as well, I think, is showing that once the players get a good long run in the team and could steer clear of injury, then they start to hit that sort of consistency.
Yeah, build some understanding around. It won't surprise me if we don't get a loan, as you've said already, Merv.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the case because
I mean, otherwise we're signing players from leagues that probably in Europe, maybe I don't know. Are going to come into a real, the business end of a championship season. There's no place for shrinking.
Getting them integrated. There's got to be someone come straight in and do a job. We've got, touchwood, we seem to have players coming back from injury every week, and thankfully the injury isn't. And we're not seeing the pattern where before when as someone come back, someone else got injured. So we could be fairly close to a full squad within a couple of weeks.
That's a pretty good squad. I think that's what struck me Saturday. We're starting to see the bones of the squad that we hoped we'd have at the start of the season.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
well, when we have a 90% healthy squad, Merv, I think we're a pretty good
Oh,
side
we
up
are. Yeah.
against anybody in it.
Yeah. It's the options off the bench. The days of when
Yeah,
starting with our strongest 11, and then after when you make sub, you're weakening the team and risking dropping points. They seem to be long gone anyway. We seem to. I mean, Alex Neil's got so many options to. Well, as we saw on Saturday at
on
Watford,
Saturday.
to go and get the game, go and grab the points if we're dominating. It must be a nice position to be in, definitely.
I mean, that's 6 points we've taken off of Watford. 6 points we've
Yeah,
taken off of Bristol. Bristol's now
yeah.
down in 9th.
Mm.
We've got a 5-point gap to the 7th spot, the non-playoff
Yeah.
spot. And we can look upwards at Middlesbrough, just 3 points in front of us. They've also
No,
played
it's
27.
great, yeah. It's
I mean, I'm running out of superlatives. I mean, I know that there's 19 games to go, so there's a lot of we've done nothing. I think Alex Neil would say that, but to be
yeah.
in this position is magnificent, and
It is. It really is. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a cliche we roll out every year, but we do have one of the smaller budgets in the division.
we do. We do.
You look at some of the players that Middlesbrough reported to be signing and stuff like that, and it's crazy that we're even as close as we are. But I should say also, talking of transfers, I actually am pleased that we didn't get Romain Esse back on loan. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but I think that would have been a backward step somehow.
Yeah, I think that ship has sailed. I was kind of sad to see Romain move on, but then we've acquired money and we've made signings, and we're looking a pretty
Yeah,
good side. So it's not like we're
yeah. I
missing him.
still because there was obviously once it was clear Palace were going to let him go out on loan.
Yeah,
A few people started saying, "Oh, let's get him back," but I think it would have been sent out the wrong message to the rest of the squad in a way,
yeah,
And I
I
think,
agree.
I think it's for the best. I think it would have been a slightly backward step in many ways. Just like I say, we've moved on, and we've got to make sure we stay moved on. I mean, looks like he's playing well for them, which is great.
Yeah, good luck to him. I mean,
I'm
they
pleased
showed it.
for him.
I saw
Yeah,
he was doing some real nice flicks up there, and
yeah,
I think the Lampard and Joe Edwards duo is a good place to a
yeah.
player
It'll be good for him,
with
definitely. Yeah,
obvious talent to go to. I hope he does. I wish him well.
yeah,
He's one of our own. But
yeah, absolutely.
I do think, just going back to your point, the downfall of Millwall over the years has been this over sentimentalised. Get the old players back. We need to be a bit more ruthless. Unfortunately, to get
Yeah,
to
we
the
do. Yeah,
top
yeah,
level, you've got to sell your players at the right moment and move on. And I think that's what we're seeing here. So no, I wish him well, but he's gone.
yeah.
So he's a Coventry player now. So good luck to
Mm.
him. The other point I just wanted to touch on before I let you go, Merv, I have never seen anything like the ball boy incident. I can't think of anything
No,
in 50 odd years that comes
no.
close to a ball boy becoming part of the action in that way. I mean,
Yeah,
just never seen anything like it. Wasn't there an incident where ball boys have kept the ball and players have slapped it out of their hands, but that's off the pitch. I've never seen one enter the field of play ever. So that was quite a moment. I feel kind
it
of
was.
privileged to have seen.
Yeah, we just have to be grateful that it didn't end up in affecting the result. But
Well, true. I mean, we got the drop balls. If we score from this, it's going to be, you'll never hear the end of it. It would have
yeah,
overshadowed everything. But so that's one thing I've never seen. The other thing you've mentioned already, I just wanted to pay tribute to Graham Taylor, an England manager that was largely stitched up by the press, and
totally. Yeah,
they had a documentary. We know from our own experience in Millwall, documentaries never do you a favour. They just want
no,
TV action, Merv, and I think he got done
yeah,
with that whole "Do I not like this" catchphrase, and
yeah.
that was a sad, because I think he was a decent man and a
Well, he
decent
was.
manager.
Yeah. One of my memories of him is after the FA Cup semi-final at Old Trafford in 2004.
Yeah,
Obviously, we stayed behind quite a long time because we were celebrating the win.
yeah,
We came out and we were walking up away from Old Trafford towards the where the tram station is, the train
yeah,
station,
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
And it was obviously quite congested. And I was aware of a little bit of not commotion, but sort of chat and banter
yeah,
just in
yeah.
front of me. And it turned out it was Graham Taylor. So
Oh, really?
Graham Taylor had been not punditing for Five Live for the match,
Right.
and I assume he'd had a couple of shandies in the bar and
Yeah,
rubbed shoulders with them. And then he'd come out. There's like at Old Trafford behind the media thing, go under like a big tunnel, and they come out and they would have joined us. So he's suddenly found himself surrounded by Millwall supporters, And he was great. He was enjoying a bit of banter. And I think one of them, he had him laughing his head off. One of them said, you're looking for a job?" And he said, "Oh, I'm always looking for a job." He says, "Well, our under-8s need a kit man." And he found that really amusing. But he was great. He wasn't like a do you know who I am sort of.
Yeah.
Proper down to earth and genuine. And I think that was probably his downfall. He was probably too nice or too genuine
For the FA, perhaps.
Didn't have enough fakery for the media and the FA and to do the England job, sadly. But
no. But
yeah,
no,
I'm glad we honoured that tribute.
Yeah, no, it's good to see. That restores your faith a little bit in humanity, as they say. So, well done, Watford. Well done, Millwall, for the way they handled that. So, there we are. Thank you, Merv. Monday with Merv, dear listeners. On to Coventry tomorrow night. It comes thick and fast, the fixtures. Big game tomorrow, Merv.
Yeah, of course. The problem is when you get a result like you did on Saturday, you start thinking, well, maybe
we can get something.
Yeah. I mean, Ipswich have gone there and won. Ipswich did the double over in the space of about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So they don't seem to be the powerhouse they were 3 months ago or 2 months ago.
No.
They're obviously fallible, but they won again on Saturday. They're going to be well up for it. If we can go there and get a draw, we can get a point there, it'll be brilliant. It really will be a great result. If we can stay unbeaten and come out unscathed, no injuries, then that's going to set us up brilliantly.
For Saturday in Chelm. There we are.
Yeah.
Agent Romain, we're looking at you. There we are.
Let's see you do one of these little twists and his Cruyff turns on the edge of his own area would be quite nice, and fall flat on his face and leave it open for Femi Aziz to get the.
We can but hope. Yeah. Big thank you, Merv. Thanks for joining me, mate. I appreciate it. Stay tuned, dear listeners.
Hello?
Nick, Aussie Dave, after that wonderful win at Watford, one of our best games of the season. Unbelievable. I'm sure all our Wolves supporters are in cloud nine. I've got 4 observations to make. The first one is Alex Neil. What a masterclass. He played a really high energetic press and realised that Watford didn't have to do defenders to work around it. He put Alfie Doughty at left back. I'm sure a lot of us would have perhaps may have seen him in midfield or as a left winger type thing, but that was a great decision. And I thought he showed great adaptability on the subs and how he used them. After about 70 minutes, sometimes it's hard to say who was playing where, but it all seemed to work. So well done, Alex Neil. Second observation, the benefits of a full-strength squad or virtually full strength. We had a really good team out there and a good subs bench. And what happened? We played well. I thought some of the best football. So it does give us encouragement that when we've got most of our squad, and I'm sure some will get injured, but with a full-strength squad, we're a good team. And also with a full-strength squad, the subs who come on make a difference, and they did that today, for example, Coburn. Third point, I want to pick on 3 players for special mention. I've already mentioned Alfred Doughty at left back. He was excellent and close to my man of the match. He was great going forward. And in fact, if it weren't for him, I think we would have been quite ineffective down that left side. Ballo wasn't penetrative enough. And anything that come good down the left was really Alfie Doughty. So he was critical coming forward, even though he's a left back. And secondly, he didn't shirk out of his defensive duties. They had a couple of tricky wingers during the game, like particularly Irakunda, and he kept him under wraps. So well done, Alfie Doughty. The second player, Negley. He was my man of the match. And this is no fluke. He's been playing well for 3, 4, 5 games now. He runs a lot, which is quite important with his positions. And he's quite effective. And he's not losing the ball as often as he was in the early days. The other thing, he's very flexible. He started off in number 10, then went in the midfield when Denore went off at half-time. And he was effective in those positions. And that's quite vital to have a couple of those flexible players. And my man in the match, and obviously he made the second goal. And my third player I want to pick out is Aziz. I thought he was excellent, but so were a lot of other players, obviously. But anything that came down that right side was either him or him working with Crammer. And one negative in this whole observation, I still think we over-rely on him. If he gets injured, I think we're really still not quite a good a team. So we're still relying on him, and he's bound to get injured. He does have a bit of a record so far. And on to my fourth and final observation, which links to Azig's, it's to do with any potential transfers we're getting, even though we're halfway through the window. I'm sure it's easy to say we played so well, we don't need anybody. But to me, our number one type of player we need is a winger. Quite reason? Well, Aziz, if he gets injured, we've got nobody really penetrative. And you look at the left-hand side with Ballo and Imaku, I reckon if we've got aspirations for the playoff, they're just not quite cutting it. So I think we're hopefully if get nothing else, we get a winger. Maybe there are other players like I expect we need another forward in the Langstaff mould, and maybe a seasoned midfielder. But anyway, I really hope we get that. Overall, what a wonderful day, and it's nice to win by 2 clear goals. Come on, you Lions.
Hi Nick, Glyn here. Well, it goes without saying that was a fantastic result and performance yesterday. I think to start on a slight negative, I've got to say now my patience and time with Macaulay Langstaff, I'm afraid, has run out. I think he's 10 out of 10 for effort. Seems to be a great lad. But that header that he missed, I'm sorry, if you put that on Coburn or Ivanovic's head, that's a goal. And we just can't afford to be wasting chances like that as we go up into this sort of playoff sort of period. So sorry to say, but I think probably the best thing for him, best thing for the club is to move Macaulay on to a level where he's going to be prolific, because I think he can be, just not in the championship level. Secondly, I think I've mentioned, and I know other people have mentioned, that we're expecting Camille Negley to explode onto the scene, and I'm actually going to challenge that, because I think Camille Negley has arrived. I think the thing is he's arrived probably a little bit under the radar. I mean, he came in, he looked a little bit out of his depth, but he's now playing like an all-round midfielder. He's not just playing like a number 10. He's filling in the centre at times, and his backtracking and his tackling has been, really improving markedly. I thought his performance yesterday was fantastic, and to see that pass through to Coburn, which I think it was his pass that led to the goal that Coburn, expertly put away. I really think he's arrived, and actually we're now seeing Camille Negley and what he's capable of, and that's got to come down as well, I think, to the management team bringing the best out of him. So I think well done to him, and like he is here now, and I think he's a first choice player without a doubt. And then finally, I think kudos to the management team and also the recruitment team. Let's all just calm down. We could have one good week and then this transfer window looks completely different. We've also got a lot of players coming back, and there's depth on the bench now, which is really good. And this is where you get to see the quality of people like Alex Neil, and what he can do during a game to change a game if he needs to, when he's got options on the bench that can really make changes and a difference. So everyone just calm down. There's still a couple of weeks to go, and we've been in this position before. We don't need to panic. By the end of January, let's look back then and see where we are. But overall, I'm not too worried. I think some of the players we've got coming back now are going to make a huge difference. Super to see Casper Denor back on the pitch. He's such an important player, and Billy Mitchell, I thought, done a great job yesterday as well. So that's it. Come on, you Lions, on to the next game.
Hello Nick, it's Barnesy here. Absolutely buzzing after that performance. There was no hangover from the Burnley game, was there? And when you looked at the team as well, you can see what a strong team we've got when everyone's fit, and everyone today was just on it, weren't they? Absolutely on it. I thought, Casper coming on playing for the first 45 minutes, and he just makes us tick, doesn't he? And Billy was class in that midfield, and them two together were just awesome. And your back four was strong. Taylor, first half, I was kind of worried about how we were going to, maybe second half they will come out, and after our first half performance where we had chances and we should have put them away, but we didn't, and that always worries me. But we didn't let it, slip or anything like that. We just kept going and going and going, and and then obviously Langstaff comes on and runs himself into the ground as normal, misses a great chance, but the fella does he does run around, doesn't he? And he's people say he's not good enough for it, but he gives it all, doesn't he? Bless him. But and then Femi, he looked on it today, didn't he? I thought Femi was class. He looked dangerous, and I had a feeling there was going to be a goal there today for him, and he took his goal very, very well. And then obviously Coburn, what a pass from Negley. But the movement from Coburn, that's what BFS should be doing. BFS, the only doubt today was, the sort of performance was from BFS. I don't know, he just didn't look on it today, but who cares? It was a good all-round performance. The back four, Cramwell was awesome. But, for me, Negley stands out today. Absolutely fantastic. That's what we paid big money for, and I thought he was brilliant today. But, being a defender myself, I would always go for defender, and I thought Doherty was phenomenal today. How many times the ball got played in the back post and he was heading it out, and he was just class on the ball. And, and we, for discipline as well, Billy got shoved in the back and the fellow with the long hair just dived about on the floor all the game, didn't he? But Billy didn't react, did he? He knew he was on a yellow, class, just pure class, and didn't get involved. And, the thing with Doherty as well, he got, he knew he gave a foul away, and he fellas dived in the back of him and threw him. He just laughed him off. And that's what we need to do. Just don't get involved, keep the players. But, Cundall comes on, runs himself around. But, Cooper was awesome today. And, I'm actually going to say something really stupid here, but I thought the referee actually handled the game pretty well. And I haven't said that or seen that for a bloody long time. So kudos to the referee. Could have done something stupid when Billy had that bit of a fallout with a fella, but he didn't. He got everyone together, and obviously the arsehole didn't want to shake his hand. So, but, let's have a little bit of credit for referees just this once, shall we? Because we are buzzing and we are flying, and a few more players maybe come in with the loans going out. So good luck to all the loan guys going out. Come back and be better players, because we're going to need you, because when we get to the Premier League. Anyway, mate, have a lovely weekend.
Good evening, Nick. Achtung Millwall, Bobby T, Weatherspoons, O'Neill. I fucking saw the Godfather fucking coming off cloud nine. What a win. What a result. Unbeaten in 26. And the man of the match is to fucking every single Millwall player. Mihailo, look, I'm not going to rant and rave. I'm not going to start criticising. Yeah, you're a bit slow off the mark. Coburn, he's a... I don't know about Coburn, mate. He's a fucking lamppost. He's fucking tall. And he's fucking bang on the rise. I am so happy. Great to see you, Nick Hart. Man of the match was every single fucking one of them, basically. Let's not get started on the fucking referee. Every single fucking week. It drives me fucking crazy. Now, listen, the ball boy. He's obviously been sacked, the ball boy. What he was doing, bless his little cotton buds, mate. But anyway, Mill till I die. We are bang in the mix. Are we going for automatic? Do we dare to dream? But I'll fucking tell you one thing. Proud to be Millwall. Every single player today tried. Billy, you're a fucking fighter. Doherty, I'd give it to Doherty. Man of the match, you asked me. Look, I'm going to stop it there. Millwall, continue the journey to the promised land. Love you all. Bobby T signing off.
Hello, Nick. It's Martin Colwell here. Missed the last two games. Issues with health issues, both human and canine in the family. But yeah, I was able to watch today's match away to Watford on Sky. Thought it was a really good performance of the team as a whole. I was a bit worried at half-time because of the chances that came and went, and it obviously showed the need to have some sort of goal scorer stroke striker come in to aid the goal scoring, which is still a problem for us. But yeah, positive performance. I thought we caught Watford on the hop. Watford seemed to be sleeping in the first half, and we were pretty dominant, I would say, getting the ball wide and the fullbacks joining in. And creative, and it was good to see Casper De Noor back, who was obviously feeling his way in, but that makes a difference to us, even though he only got one half. But I thought everyone was solid first half without the fear of the goal, and I think it was really all we could do then was to bring Josh Coburn on when we thought it was, or when the manager thought it was the best time to bring him on to manage him, because we need him for the games coming up, especially with his injury record. But yeah, it worked out well in the end, didn't it? Watford obviously got a roasting at half time and came out and gave it a go, but that tended to peter out really after 20 minutes. And when the first goal went in from Femi Aziz, the heads seemed to drop a bit. And the second goal was a killer. They seemed to lose their heads after that, didn't they? And were getting silly. So that made it much more comfortable for Millwall in the end to cruise through. In terms of the league, Middlesbrough and Ipswich seem to be picking up now, don't they? Seem to be going forward and may well strengthen again in the rest of the transfer window that remains. What with Coventry up there, I know we're playing them midweek, but what with Coventry up there, I don't think it's realistic to think that we can finish top two. But the playoffs are still there to grab because we've beaten Bristol City and Watford both twice now. But yeah, we need help up front because one, we can't rely on Coburn staying fit, and two, we need some sort of finisher, because we are creating chances, but we're not putting them away because if Femi Aziz is crossing, he can't put the chance away, can he? So we do need help in the transfer window for that. We could also do a bit more attacking threat from midfield. I'm not knocking anyone who played today, but we need goals from midfield as well as from up front. And so there's probably two players we need. I think we can get by with just those two players, really. I think that, I can't account for injuries, but the defence is playing okay. I think Caleb Taylor is doing really, really well now. He's looking a really good player. And I think we're kind of okay there. And I think the goalie, Miss Crocombe seems to get a bit of stick, but I think he's okay. I don't see the point of signing another goalkeeper unless you want him to be number two and not let George Evans be number two because, I think there is more of a need for goals, really. I think Crocombe's a decent goalkeeper. He's no world beater, but he's a decent goalkeeper. So I don't think we should waste money there. We should go for the attacking midfielder and we should go for the striker. Talk about Bailey Kedemata. He seems ridiculous, someone who scored 2 goals in 27 games. We've got enough of those players about. We don't need any more, so that would be a ridiculous signing. But yeah, it needs to be a loan signing to push us, over the line into that playoff area. We don't need to buy anyone because we can sort out who we need going forward at the end of the season. Just bring in that striker who may not be getting games but can score, has got a record of scoring goals, who can add to goals. But yeah, with today's game, I thought Cameron Negley looked to have a reasonable game because I think that where we were physically stronger than Watford and dominating them, it suited him because I don't think he wants to sit in that position and play balls like he did for Coburn's goal rather than really get stuck into stuff, So I think that suited him as well. But yeah, I think I'd give man of the match to Caleb Taylor, really, because I think he's looking a really good player at the moment. We've got Coventry away and Charlton at home coming up. Both tricky games for different reasons. Coventry, obviously, because they're still at the top of the league and they're still a decent side despite a couple of slip-ups recently. So that'll be a hard game for us. And then Charlton at home. Charlton are going to sit in. They're just going to sit in and defend and be hard to break down. And that really doesn't suit Millwall, does it? Millwall want to go on the break and play. So that could be a tricky game as well. And I think in both games, we're going to have to take chances when they come because I don't think there's going to be loads of them. But they could. I think Coventry is a free hit, really.
And I think Charlton, I think if you can get in the lead against Charlton, you're probably going to do okay because they're going to have to come out and you'll be able to play against them. But that breaking down and not getting caught, and they've signed Lyndon Dykes up front, who's not the greatest player, and I wouldn't sign him, but he's a solid centre forward, and he can bring other players into the game. So we've got to be careful that we've got to be careful that we score the first goal in that game and not get behind, because that could be very difficult against a Nathan Jones team. But yeah, it's all going well. It's all looking positive. Just need a couple more players back. But yeah, we do need those attacking signings that I said, and sooner the better, really. Anyway, thanks, Nick, and come on, you Lions.
Wherever Bud goes, his harmonica goes with him. It's a pocket full of soul. Now he's living with prostate cancer. He asked his doctor about Xtandi enzalutamide. Xtandi 40 milligram tablets treats men with prostate cancer that has spread to other parts of the body and responds to a medical or surgical treatment to lower testosterone. Xtandi may cause serious side effects: seizure, a brain condition called PRESS, allergic reactions, heart disease that can lead to death, falls and bone fractures, swallowing problems, or choking that can lead to death. Stop Xtandi and get medical help at once if your face, tongue, lip, or throat start swelling. Tell your doctor at once if you faint, have a seizure, quickly worsening headache, decreased alertness, confusion, vision problems, chest pain or discomfort, or shortness of breath. Xtandi can cause harm to an unborn baby or miscarriage. Use birth control during and 3 months after Xtandi. Common side effects include muscle and joint pain, feeling unusually tired, hot flashes, constipation, less appetite, diarrhea, high blood pressure, bleeding, falls, fractures, and headache. Talk to your doctor and visit Xtandi.com.
Achtung, Millwall.
Hello, Nick. Jaime calling from Australia after watching Watford 0, Millwall 2. And if there was ever a warning for promotion, it was that first half. And I'm going to start with the midfield. If that ball went into the centre, it was like being in the Lions' den. Casper Denor and Billy Mitchell just dominated against Loser, probably the best midfielder in the division. Go to a back line. Crocombe didn't really have much to do. What he did have to do, he did well. Caleb Taylor, I think West Brom have absolutely had their pants pulled down for 2 million. He looks cultured, creating a tackle, and can score a goal. Cooper, dependable as ever. Crumb and Aziz down the right-hand side. Every single team in the division they're going to ruin. It was just inspirational to watch. On the left, Ballo, a little bit lightweight, but Doherty showing that huge bit of class by being in his proper position. Up front, I thought Arrivederci did okay, as did Langstaff when he come in. But I think we're seeing with Coburn why we paid the money. He's still raw, but he has got a finish on him. And in our division, that is priceless. Next, we go to Coventry, and I think they fear us more than we fear them. Even if we go away and we get beat, we can look forward to playing Charlton. If we get 6 points out of that 9, considering that block, that's all good. So from Phillip Island in Australia, come on, you Lions.
Hi, Nick, it's Hasan here. Oh, getting, what a result. Another good result on the road. Going into today, for Watford away, apparently they're the best team in the league. They're 7 unbeaten. But going into it, I looked at who they played in those 7 games, and they weren't exactly playing the likes of a Coventry or a Middlesbrough or Ipswich. That 7-game run that they got, where they were unbeaten, were against the teams of like Norwich, who are down there, Sheffield Wednesday, Wrexham, Birmingham, who are hot and cold. So I thought going into it, I know they're 7 unbeaten, but I think we had enough in the tank to maybe try and get a result. Looking at the starting 11, I've got to be honest with you, I believe that's probably the best starting 11 in terms of quality up and down the pitch, probably since the first game of the season, dare I say. It looks strong, the bench looks strong, and you can see why we sent a few players out on loan this week, the likes of AJ Matthews and Colwell Grant, with Kundal and Coburn coming back in on the bench. He looked really strong. I thought, bloody hell, we've got a squad here today. And on the first half showing, I thought, what's this 7-game unbeaten run come from? I thought Watford were woeful, or was it because we were better than them? Well, I think we were, and I was quite fearful going into the second half because we've seen the script before, haven't we, Nick? Whereby we batter a team for a half, and then we do something silly, and they go 1-0 up. Their best chance came literally within the last 30 seconds of the first half. But we played really well in that first half, and in the second they came out. But thankfully, again, fine margins, a good finish from Aziz, and I think, man, the moment it's got to be Josh Coburn. Came off the bench last week against Burnley in that defeat, but he scored a very good goal. Came on today. I'm pretty sure he's bulked up a bit. He looks he doesn't look so skinny. He's got a bit of size about him now. I think he's put a bit of muscle on, which he had to. And today he took his goal really well. Nice bit of through ball play from Negley. And Coburn does what he does, really, getting one-on-one, and he's putting it back in the net. It was a lovely finish. And it's great to see, to get a striker come back from injury. He's got 2 goals straight off the bat. It takes the weight off Mihailo a little bit as well, gives him a bit of breathing space. And going into this important part of the season now, second part of the season, we need everyone, on song. And it has to be said, though, when we've got a fully fit side, we don't need signings, really. We could do with the odd signing maybe here and there just to shore it up a little bit. That first half is a good example, That game could have gone the other way quite easily today. Croker had a good save from a free kick, and they put one shot wide. But aside from that, I thought we'd done really well. I was very impressed with the boys, and I'm loving watching the side at the moment. I think they're, every single one of them, they're putting 100% effort in. We play some good football at times, and I'm confident that each time we play a game of football, we can score a goal and win a game. So hats off to everyone, including the manager. Another strong performance. In terms of man of the match, I think you can choose from anyone from Doughty, Taylor, Cooper, Mitchell. I think I'm going to give it to Billy Mitchell. The fact that he was on a yellow card for so long as well, he managed himself really well. He played the full 90. It was good to see Casper back as well. And I hope him going off at half-time with scheduled minutes. I know he was in his tracksuit at the end of the game. I'm not going to read much into that. I think it's just, he's done his job. He's washed up, ready to go. So hopefully he's ready to go again on Tuesday and then on Saturday. It has to be said, though, once Dinor went off, we did lose the midfield a little bit. But, whoever came in done a good job. What else is there to say? Referee, woeful as usual. I don't know where they come from, Nick. And to be honest with you, I've done quite a few away games this season. And I don't know. If it seems to be the away games, we these referees they're borderline bent. I'm sorry, some of the stuff that they're calling is a fucking joke. But thankfully, it didn't cost us today. Lovely bit of banter with the ball boy. He got pelters, he did, and the lad who replaced him, he was a good laugh as well. So overall, a good day at the office. Let's rest and recoup. On to Cov. All the best, mate.
Hello, Nick. Hi, listeners. John Rankin just calling in after that brilliant away day at Vicarage Road. Fantastic performance. I don't know where to start, really. First of all, running through the team setup, I thought my man of the match was Alfie Doughty. We played a back four, Doughty at left back, Cooper, Caleb Taylor and Tristan Kramer. And I've got to say, I'm a great fan of Zach Sturge. I think he's a good player. Joe Bryan is a good player as well. But boy, we've been vulnerable down that left side, and bringing Alfie Doughty in was just a masterstroke. What a player he is. Not only is he a good distributor of the ball, very calm under pressure as well, but he can tackle, he can stand players up and take the ball off them. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I'm afraid for me, that knocks Zach Sturge into the reserves. I can't see anyone replacing Alfie Doughty in that left back berth, in a back four, that is. If we go to a back five, I'm not so sure. But, wow, what a performance. I think our back four were tremendous today, and the way we played without the ball was superb. I thought having Billy and Casper back in the midfield duo paid dividends. We're nearly at full strength now. Camille Negley played very well. He set up Josh Coburn's goal with a lovely little through ball, and he starts to run games a little bit when he's given the ball. He also made some good challenges. He's a number 10, and that's what we've always needed. Zian Fleming wasn't a number 10. Camille Negley is a proper number 10, and I think he's going to be the key to our push for a playoff spot. I really do. Femi Aziz, what can you say? Brilliant. The only two kind of players that were a little bit absent today, Ivanovic didn't have a great set of games, still learning his trade, and I think you saw the better physical presence of when Josh Coburn came on. Josh Coburn, rather, not Coburg. That's a German royal family, isn't it? I think Saxe Coburg. Josh Coburn came on. And Thierry Ballo. Thierry Ballo was a bit lightweight for me, I've got to say. And I'm not entirely sure about him. But I'm nitpicking. It's a team game and they all played their part. And I thought it was tremendous. The way we played without the ball was fantastic. I mean, Watford are a good side. And we seem to be playing really well against them. And we totally, controlled them on and off the ball. The only worry I had was that we were so good. I thought the shape of these games is normally the team that has all the possession and creates all the chances and doesn't actually put a goal on the scoreboard ends up losing because they eventually blow out. The other side comes in with their little run of form and they nick a goal, and that's what I thought was going to happen. We got through to the second half and Watford started to play their way back into the game. Shepard Nazi was playing the ball around really well, and the African midfielders that they seem to have a deal done with the AFCON nations. They stroke the ball around very nicely and drop into pockets and create a lot of good spaces. And I thought in that first 10 minutes, when we always seem to be vulnerable in the second half, I thought Watford are going to nick a goal. They didn't. We rode out the storm and it was back to normal. We played ourselves back in the game, plenty of pressure around the box, good play in midfield. Femi Aziz got his chance and took it. What a boy he is. The second goal was absolutely superb. Camille Negley, a lot of time, gives himself time on the ball, head up, looking round, played a lovely little through ball to Josh Coburn, who timed his run beautifully, and he just took the goalie to the right. Classic forward play. Started off in between the middle of the posts, pushed the ball right onto his right foot, drawing the goalie his way, and then slotted it into the left-hand corner. That's the way to take goals. It's a copybook method, always works. And it was a nice technical goal, beautifully finished. We saw the game out. There was a little bit of argy-bargy at the end of the game. Watford were getting a bit annoyed. Billy Mitchell did well. He planted his forehead straight on Shepard Nazi's face, but kept his hands down as if to say, come on in, you start it, I'll finish it, but I'm not going to get a silly sending off for a yellow card. Very impressive. We drove home, our little crew, and we were very, very happy. We're going up to Coventry. We're going to stay up there and watch Coventry. If we can nick a point at Coventry and beat Charlton, that's a good January. So over and out. Come on, you Lions.
Hi Nick, Laurence here, calling after a fantastic result, but not only a result, what a performance. Really start to finish, it wasn't too much to worry about. Coming into this game, I thought, Watford's form, I think it's 10 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses at home. I thought we still had probably a week or two away from having more of a built squad to take that on. But actually was really surprised off the get-go, the first 11 and the squad in general, with like Denor being back in, and that bench, and scrolled down, thought that's the strongest I've seen it since the early parts of the season. But let's see how we go, let's see how the legs are, and straight away you could see the influence that Denor has. That first half, he was running the show, and we always switched to a back three when we were on the ball with him orchestrating it. Started to slap a little bit maybe towards the end of the half, but, to go in and to beat these guys 2-0 on their own turf, with them really struggling to put much together, I think just shows, why we are where we are. And now that we've got more players coming back and they're going to get fitter and leaner, why not? I keep saying why not? Let's enjoy it. It's sort of been my motto this year. But yeah, going through the squad. Crocombe didn't have much to do, to be honest with you, especially first half. Second half, he had a couple of saves to make, and actually pretty good. The free kick came out on the left-hand side at one point when they were through in and blocked, and looked relatively solid, I think we can say. I know that people were looking to maybe getting someone a bit better for this Hunt, and I can understand that, but I think he's slowly been growing into it and getting better now. Having said that, if we did get someone better on the books, great. It doesn't hurt to have two options. The back four, brilliant as always, to be honest. Starting with Crammer, workhorse, isn't he? I don't know where he gets energy levels, honestly. Centre back by nature, but with that engine, you have to play it right back, because no, if a winger is being lazy like they were today and not tracking, we overload them every time. It's a weapon. Cooper, Mr. Consistent in my mind. Only things, he had to deal with typical headers, aerial duels, but a couple of times they got to the byline, hit it across, and he, covered that ground between the goalie and himself, but also making sure the reverse pass didn't get behind him, and then big tree trunk legs coming out and dealt well. Taylor, better and better, isn't he, every game? And what he's almost more of a threat than Cooper is these days. But he's just looking really good, especially when pressing, his timing when to do it. And although I think Tanganga was gutted to lose him, he was a superb centre-half for us, no doubt, and he's a good centre-half. I'm now not really concerned with what I'm seeing with Taylor. Brilliant bit of business all round. And Doherty, we all know the quality he has. But the fitter he's getting, in fact, he actually played in a natural position today at left-back. Some player, both defensively. I thought he was great with a lot of back post headers, and no one got the better of him, and he was winning. But his quality on the ball, I mean, my word, absolutely unbelievable. Denor, brilliant, great to see him back. Really interesting that he only played the 45, which was right. I thought he was lagging a bit towards the end, and maybe that's this new head of sports science and recovery in this that's playing into it, that we seem to be managing minutes more obviously, I think, from an outsider watching in than we have been previously, which is good to see. It's a squad game, we all know that. Billy, brilliant. Him over 5 or 10 yards, nipping in to get something. He's very quick over 5-10. Disrupts play, very quick on a 180 turn to get himself out of trouble and just open the game. And again, brilliant. I hope he stays fit. Negley, better and better every game, isn't he? Again, a player that has come under scrutiny at times, but I think the general consensus from everyone is that he's getting better. He's doing the rough stuff as well, but he's still got that class. He wants to get on the ball, and that inch point pass to Coburn proves it. Well, simple as it may be, see a lot of our lads muck that up. Aziz, class act. Just keep hold of the boy, give him a new contract, do what you need. He's again another different level. Ballo, knew he was on the pitch, maybe a tad unlucky here and there, but could have done better in other areas. If I had to be, say about the January market, that'd be the one spot. That would be the spot that I'd probably look at and go, look, I think if there's an obvious improvement out there to get, go and get them. Ivanovic, he didn't get a sniff, really. He battled, and I think he could have done 1 chance, 2 chances that the defenders just clipped for corners instead of through to him. He'll get goals, we know what we get. But Coburn, he looks leaner, more muscular, more athletic. I thought it against Burnley, and I certainly thought it today. And Luungu on the commentary said the same, that they could have brought him back in the middle of December. He's obviously in the physio room with him, but they held him back a month to work on this side, and I think it shows. Keep him fit, and hopefully he's any stronger. I think he could be the man that helps us with goals more. So, look, we've got the 3 points. It means Coventry in the week's going to be less pressure, and let's just see where we go. Really enjoying it. Hope you're well, buddy. Bye now.
Hello, Nick. Matt Richards. Just nearly home now. Actually, back from the game today. Wow, a great win, but what a great performance. I think that first half performance, it was one of those ones we were on top so much. I can't remember dominating a half of football as much away for ages, and all it needed was just us to create a few more opportunities. I think there's only really a kind of Caleb Taylor with that header, and Doughty with a shot, but we played so well. We just, especially down our right with Femi and Crammer, and you just think, yeah, great, because you're playing a team which is in form, and you're away from home, You think, yeah, this is great. We're playing well. We're on the front foot, but you just feel they're going to come back into the game at some point, and they did. I mean, second half, start of the second half, they were pressurising us. I think they had an early chance, and yeah, we just kind of rode our luck a bit, but we were kind of still solid. And you know, Coburn coming on made a big difference to the game, and you know, I think seeing him, his presence up front compared to Ivanovic, who, you know, he's trying hard, but he's still very much learning and knowing about his positioning and how to use his body. And if you're an opposing defender, who'd you rather play against? You'd rather play against Ivanovic than you would Coburn. And it's so good to have Coburn back. Hopefully, fingers crossed, he's fit and he's confident, isn't he? I mean, he's barely played one half of football and he scored 2 goals, 2 chances, and he's put them away. It's great to have that. You know, you've got him coming back, you've got Casper back for the first half, makes a big difference. You know, like we said, the players are coming back. We haven't picked up any injuries recently. I know it's a kiss of death, so I probably shouldn't have said that. But it's looking so positive. We need to temper that positivity and excitement, obviously, because there's a long way to go. I still think we need to bring in a couple more players. I think we need another striking option. Langstaff today, that header, from where we were, obviously a long way away, but he had to get on target. Much as he tries hard, it's not good enough. If we've got ambition to go up, we need balls that can put those sort of chances away. Anyway, it didn't come back to bite us on the backside. So we need another forward option. And we need probably another backup or not proper keeper, but first choice keeper with championship experience. Whether this fella comes in from Sunderland, don't know. But just because we've played well today and we've won well, we still need to get that checkbook out and get some reinforcements, because this is the best chance we've had in going up in 25 years. Whether it's for the playoffs or whether automatics might be slightly out of our reach, I don't think there's any teams to be really wary of. The way we played today, there's nothing to stop us playing like that, consistently throughout the rest of the season. If we play consistently like that the rest of the season, we will be in that top 6, 100%. We will be. But there you go. Me saying let's not get excited and then getting excited. So brilliant performance, brilliant 3 points, brilliant ball boy performance as well. First time that any of us have ever seen a ball boy being subbed. Just absolutely hilarious. I do feel a bit sorry for the kid. Clearly he got a bit overexcited. I wouldn't mind it. He wasn't just on the pitch, was he? He was like 3 or 4 yards inside the pitch. He was in the penalty area. Anyway, that was a bit of fun. Nice driving back, early kick-off, when you can sit back and watch the rest of the results and enjoy the rest of the weekend. And then tough game on Tuesday, obviously. A bit more relaxed about that now. Obviously, you can get a point, brilliant. But if we lose, it's not the end of the world. And then we've got the train spotters on Saturday, haven't we? So come on, you Lions. Cheers, Nick. Take care, mate. See ya.
It was straight back to watching the Lions for me after touching down at Heathrow just a few hours earlier. And if I had any jet lag, it was soon diminished after watching the Sky feed from Vicarage Road. What a performance and what a result, Nick. We were the better side throughout, playing some really positive football. Shame we couldn't nick a goal in the first half when Femi looked really lively and Alfie showed his real quality. But in the second half, we played well out of possession as well and not giving them time on the ball, and we were winning those second balls. Several things I wasn't sure about. The Boy Scout of a referee, and the Girl Guide of a linesman. And of course, Casper's new choir boy, Barnett. And I did see Jeff Barnett sitting with Hornets fans, didn't I? It was hard to tell because the whole screen showed his massive shock of white hair. Those 2 goals in the second half were a just reward for our astounding performance. Let's give Langstaff some credit for his role in the first goal, making himself busy up against two defenders to force a weak clearance for Femi to strike home. And then Negley made a sublime pass to put the lamppost through on goal for our second. And the icing on the cake for me was the superb way we managed the remainder of the game, giving them little space and breaking up their play with some niggly fouls. And we will have to play the dark arts at times in order to see out matches. What a result. The way I see it now, Tuesday is a free hit, being all about the performance and damage limitation perhaps to protect our goal difference. And then we have 18 cup finals, 9 at the Den, which will all be vital if we are going to make the playoffs this season. Come on, you Wall!
Hello, Nick. Mark Willoughby. Just give you a quick note after the brilliant performance today at Watford. I was quite surprised to see Casper back. I'm very pleasantly surprised at that. Second week running, we've had quite a nice surprise with Josh last week. And so the lineup was strong, and I spoke to my mates on the way, and I said, well, we can be confident against anyone with this kind of team. And so it proved. The guys looked up for it from the start. Lots of hunger and desire, and really, except for sort of small segments throughout the game, I thought we looked great the whole game. Some very strong performances, and it's just great to see Billy and Casper in the midfield. It makes such a difference. So we worked very, very well in the first half. We went, we had some good chances, but kind of half chances, nothing sort of clear cut, but we were very dominant and making Watford wait, and we were doing our thing. Bit of a cameo from the ball boy, who inexplicably came onto the pitch and caught the ball, bless him, before it had gone out of play. It was quite funny seeing the referee who didn't have a clue what to do, but that wasn't the last time that he didn't have a clue. He was appalling the whole game. Anyway, that was a bit of a side story. Second half, more of the same. I think we were a bit worried that, not having gone in a goal up, we might rue that, but we didn't. We just come out and kept doing exactly the same thing again. And, eventually Femi broke the deadlock, and then Josh secured it all and kept it nice and comfortable for us near the end for second week running. A very nicely taken goal when he got put through. So a thoroughly deserved win, and well done to all the boys and well done to Alex. I think that to me, I'm an optimist, even though I'm getting older. I still always think about the best for things, and to me, why not look towards automatic promotion? Not even the playoffs. We've been in the playoffs all season. Yeah, but I think really that should be the least of our ambitions. Let's go for automatic. Why not? Let's dream. And if we can keep this attitude, we go to Coventry, full of optimism, and we can give it a really good go against them. Why not? So well done to everyone that travelled, and well done to Alex, and well done to the boys. Great day, and it's giving us all a nice warm feeling for the evening. So thanks, Nick, again, and thanks for the retro shows as well. I really enjoyed that one that you did about Watford, and talking about the immortal Bill Voicey. Very important to keep these things alive. Other podcasts don't do this kind of stuff, and I think it's important, and I think that the club should honour those type of people. He's hero. He was a hero on and off the pitch, and it's great that you highlight those kind of characters from our history. So good job, Nick. Well done. Coming, you Lions.
Oh, hello, Nick Hart, Bobby T. Just got in from fucking Watford Junction. Listen, like, I don't know about you, but I fucking made my day like the old Terry Hurlock in the crowd on the way to the game. Made my fucking day. What I wanted to just finish off up on, great seeing you in the pub all as well. Love the show, love the podcast, love the Achtung, listen, that Coburn, call lamppost, what are we going to call him? A bit harsh if you ask me. But come on, didn't change the game, but Nedry threw ball, put on a plate, finished it. Now, the argument case for Ivanovic, or the big Serb, or the big garlic, the big herb, so far, running around, young, still hungry, young, but just for me, running around like Langstaff, like a headless chicken, our two front strikers. Coburn showed one chance, take it, bam, 2-0. He holds the ball up better. Now, I'm just trying to say to you, no, we ain't bought anyone yet. Do we need midfielder? Casper's back now. Casper wasn't risked, only 45 minutes. Kando, I cussed him a video a few months ago. Come on. We've got a few good midfielders coming back now. Right time, right place. But listen, what I'm trying to get at is our front two or front one. Langstaff, how the fuck have you missed that, mate? But anyway, you slip like Bambi on ice. Look, January's still here. Are we going to buy a main striker who scores goals? Coburn, can he stay fit? Is he a lamppost? What I'm trying to say to you is, Mihailo, how many more chances now? Now on Tuesday, Coventry away, Alex Neil's going to go and believe and take a point there, shock the world. Coventry came to us, we beat them in the cup, and then lost in the league 4-0. What I'm trying to say to you is that everyone thought we're going to go and get a battered there. Alex Neil's going to go, put aside, and we fear no foe. We go and we enjoy and play. Coventry, we're coming. And then next week, Charlton, train spotters. Look, what I'm trying to say to you is, I'm going around the bushes now. Mihailo, I don't know, you know. Coburn's got to start against Coventry, Sky Blues. Bye for now, Bobby T. Love you all.
Achtung, Millwall.
Who do you want to watch?